And the billionaires know that they will have more control of Congress with term limits. I explain right here. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, and subscribe to our channel. When a new young person comes into Congress or comes into a state legislature, the state house or state senate, or comes into the city council, your local town or whatever, or the United States Senate even, a new person comes in, they need to learn their way around. They need to learn how the levers of power are used. They need to learn how do you translate an idea into legislation? How do you challenge somebody who's opposing you legislatively? How do you wield influence, essentially, as a legislator? How do you get things done? Who are the people in the permanent infrastructure, essentially, of government that you need to get to know? What is the Congressional Budget Office? How do you interact with that? All this kind of stuff, right? And typically, the way that a new member of Congress learns this stuff is by asking an old member of Congress, somebody who's been there for years and years. When you have term limits, and we've seen this happen now in several states, and the term limits were, I believe, in most cases, I think probably in all cases, promoted by Freedom Works, which is the Koch brothers outfit. One of the things that we know is in these states that have put into place term limits, where there are no old-timers, when new people come in and they look around and they say, okay, how do I do this job? How do I be a legislator? And there's nobody who's been a legislator for more than a year or two or three or four. They turn to the permanent infrastructure around them, the people who are knocking on their door literally every day, who have been there for decades in many cases, who can tell them how everything works, and those people are the lobbyists. So, in my opinion and in my experience, the only thing that term limits does is increases the power of lobbyists and decreases the institutional power of the two political parties and of the people in them. And of course, that's exactly what the Koch brothers would want. I mean, they're all about lobbying, right? Hey, no fossil fuel tax. So I get this email from Freedom Works. And it says, yeah, I signed up for Freedom Works' email as Barney Rubble, so it comes to Barney Rubble. Barney, this is disturbing. That was the headline. In fact, the headline said, I don't think this is right, Barney. Can you take a look at it? And so I looked at it, and it says, it's got the Freedom Works logo. And it says, Barney, this is disturbing. Nancy Pelosi's been in office 32 years, Maxine Waters 28 years, Sheila Jackson-Lee 24 years, Elijah Cummings 23 years, Adam Schiff 18 years, Debbie Wasserman-Schultz 14 years. It says these career politicians are in super safe districts, meaning they can stay in office for the rest of their lives. This has got to stop. Take action. Tell your members of Congress to support term limits. Thankfully, conservative champion Ted Cruz has a bill circulating Congress to finally put term limits on Congress. But Chuck Schumer and his swamp senators are doing everything to prevent Senator Cruz's bill from receiving a vote. And if you stay silent now, they'll kill this bill and let career politicians continue to run Congress. Don't let it happen. Don't let them get away with it. Please send your members of Congress a message. Tell them to stand with Senator Cruz and drain the D.C. swamp. Tell them to support term limits for Congress now. I can tell you the one guy who doesn't want to be term limited is Ted Cruz. But in any case, term limits are not the solution. We have term limits right now. They are called, they're called elections.